Hello there. What's going on, everybody? I want to talk to you today a little bit about the Superstar Destroyer. Have some more conversation on this because it gets talked about an awful lot, considering it's really like the only thing flying right now for Armada, at least in the news spectrum. And while I think we're all grateful to have some news for Armada, it'd be nice if there was more than just this, and it leaves a lot of people asking the question, is this Wave 8? And the truth is, I don't really know. And I think it's worth some discussion because, and if it is, does that matter? So that's kind of what we're going to talk a little bit about today. So first off, what does a wave even mean, right? So in the past, Wave has always been a collection of expansions that all launch at the same time. However, I think the value of that term has kind of diminished over time because a wave used to always be at least 4 ships, right? And going back to X-Wing's days, you used to get 4 ships at a time was a wave, and sometimes you'd even get, more things in a wave. I remember when The Force Awakens came out, X-Wing was putting out extra ships with, I think we had like a 6-ship wave one time because 2 other ships were grouped into this wave and they were all going to come out at the same time, or at least very, very close to the same time. And Armada has had some waves that were big like that. Wave 2 was really big, was a really, really great wave for the game. And you've had some bigger waves. And then, but at the same time, we've also had standalone releases that weren't considered a wave. Like the Corellian Conflict wasn't actually a wave. It was a standalone expansion. A lot of times when a single thing comes out by itself, it's not considered a wave. I could say the same thing about X-Wing when they have an Aces pack come out, or when X-Wing has a huge ship come out. Those are standalone releases and have never really been considered part of a wave. Although sometimes you kind of group them on what the last wave was when they came out, and which waves they were in between. And some people tend to look at them like that, but I think like with Armada's case, it seems like they've gotten a little bit away from waves, even though Wave 7 was clearly a wave. It was a 2-ship wave. We've had Waves 3 and 4, which both arrived on the exact same day. Now, those were also 2-ship waves, but, I mean, they were the same day. So doesn't it defeat the purpose of having something be called a wave if you're getting 2 waves of the same thing on the same day? So, I'm not really sure if what we call this matters. I think one of the things that leads itself towards people wanting to know is because if this is Wave 8, then a lot of, history would tend to make us think that there was another ship coming. But it certainly doesn't appear that way. And if there was, then I think we would have gotten some kind of hint of it by now. And it doesn't seem to be the case. So I'm certainly not getting my hopes up for another ship, although it would be very, very nice. A lot of people are asking, well, are the Rebels going to get a huge ship too? And I just don't see what the Rebels are going to get. Some people have brought up, all right, the Viscount or Viscount. I say Viscount, but some people say the S is pronounced silent. And I say, how could you possibly know how anything in Star Wars is pronounced until you've heard them say it? Because the Tantive is pronounced Tantive, and there's all kinds of names that are pronounced all kinds of goofy ways. So everybody on their pronunciation gets a pass. A pass, not a past. But yeah, the Viscount was Legends, so that's not made it back into canon yet. So I don't really think they'll do that. Also because of the fact that it looks a lot like the Raddus, and it seems like the Raddus was, the natural evolution of the Viscount, and I don't think they were going to want to redo that and bring that straight back into canon. But then somebody could say, well, the Lucre Hulk, well, the Rebels used the Lucre Hulk in the comics, and I'm like, yeah, I just don't think it's going to be recognizable enough. I definitely don't think the Rebels will ever get a Lucre Hulk, because one of the things with these games is it's not all about what's canon. It's not all about what has been done in the books and in the film and in the more obscure stuff. It's about what's recognizable. And 99.9% of people that if they walk into a store and they see a Star Destroyer going up against a Lucre Hulk, or they see a Lucre Hulk on the table, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, this is a Clone Wars game. And then they're going to be awfully confused when they're like, wait, what? Well, if they made a Lucre Hulk, how come the Rebels are using it? And it's going to seem like it's really hokey, and I don't think they're going to go for that. Even if they did use one, it's not something that's recognizable. It's not something that I think is going to happen. So I just don't see the Rebels getting a huge ship. I think the Starhawk would be the ideal counter for a Super Star Destroyer because of the Aftermath books. But then again, they may not make it in because they're not as recognizable, and visual recognition is a big part of what drives production and manufacturing and licensor approval and all of those things. So, you know, whether or not it's Wave 8, and I've heard a lot of people say that this is Wave 8, you know, but I don't think it's been made official anywhere. I asked some of the FFG people at Gen Con, and the answers that I got were very non-committal. Like, I don't think we're going with wave numbers and stuff anymore. I don't know. It was like, are you asking me? Is that a question? Like, I asked you. It sounds like, you know. So, very non-committal answers. And I do believe that this is Wave 8, but I'm not 100% certain on that. I haven't seen it posted officially anywhere. But I think it's a popular opinion that this is Wave 8 and that there is not, you know, some hidden ships that are coming or anything like that. So basically, don't get your hopes up for anything more. And even if this is not Wave 8, I don't think it matters. How you label it, I think what matters is that this is going to have a big impact. And while I think it's really unfortunate that Rebels aren't going to get anything, and at the rate of releases, it seems like Rebels aren't going to get anything for a year, maybe a year and a half. Are they going to change the way they play? And I think the answer may be yes. I think it may change the way Rebels play a little bit because of the fact that this is going to have a pretty big impact on the game, because you can see one ship lists becoming a thing right now, whereas that was never a thing before. So I think that's going to have a lot to do with how the Rebels, you know, change their gameplay. Speaking of the Star Destroyer, FFG on their Instagram just dropped 3 images recently, so we're going to take a look at them. First was this one, and it was really, really fun messing with Instagram because apparently you can't download images from there normally. I had to get creative, and as you can see, there's still the like slide over and click on this. And so this is that we can see a little preview of this one. You know, it's like the second card behind there. It looks like a Super Star Destroyer under construction. It's really cool. Here's the next image. I love that. It's like they had to build special. They didn't have shipyards big enough to build this, so they had to build their own special shipyard to construct something like this, and it's beautiful. And one of the things I really like is that you can see in this artwork, you can see all these other little construction ships. Like, look at these. I mean, and that's not even a Corvette. Like these are, you know, that's like almost a Star Destroyer. Like it's like a Victory size, you know, a medium or large ship, you know, freight hauler, something, you know, bringing in components and pieces for this thing. And there's the front. Now the front isn't as big of a deal because the front just looks kind of normal. But yes, so those are nice. I actually did piece those together, and so I put those up on my Discord. But here's the full. I just pasted them together, so that's kind of how it looks as a whole thing. So that's pretty cool. It's not the best job because you still see there's the you know the slide over things, but yeah, I think it's a really, really cool looking piece, and I love that it's showing the Super Star Destroyer under construction. You know, we had talked about for a long time what would a Super Star Destroyer, like, how would it work in this game? Because it's so much bigger. I'm like, well, it doesn't have to be the same executor we see in the movies. You can have under construction versions. You know, I thought it was going to come as a campaign. I thought this whole box was going to be a campaign pack. I mean, there might be some campaign scenario stuff going on inside the box too. Who knows? But I think if that were coming, they might have said that, because then that might have at least given Rebels something to you know, enhance their gameplay. Really, the only thing Rebels are getting is a new enemy. A new enemy, more powerful than the last, or something like that. I don't know. But pretty cool stuff. I can't wait for this thing to come out. I've been playing a couple of sample games with the Bellator a little bit, and that's cool. But it's not even. It's not as big as this. It's not, the bases aren't. It's not as far apart. It's just so. This is gonna be so big. I'm super excited. Although I don't think I'm going to get 2. At least not right away. Maybe someday. Maybe someday for 2 of them. But let me know what you think. Do you think this is, you know, that basically the Wave structure as we know it is done now? Do you think that this is Wave 8? Do you think that Wave 8 is yet to come? Do you think, you know, we're going to see a Rebel huge ship? And what do you think of the new artwork? I'm really a big fan of it. Let me know, guys, in the comments below. Also, there is another round of the giveaway going on right now. It is for a $25 gift card to Cool Stuff for an expansion of your choice. All you have to do to enter to win that is to become a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos. It's as simple as that. So yeah, let me know what you think about that, guys, and also let me know what you think about the artwork. That's about it, guys. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to leave a comment, click on that bell for alerts. Don't forget to check out Crabbok.com. You can hop on my Discord if you want to see some more of that Superstar Destroyer as well. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day.